All right, it's 5 o'clock. Welcome to Light 'em Up, where we light 'em up. Debate one, it's going to be Stone. It's 5 o'clock West Coast, my bad. 7 o'clock for the rest of you. Stone versus Nelly. Now, we don't endorse drugs on Light 'em Up. Stone does, but the rest of us don't. But what street drug would enhance player performance on the field most, or on the pitch, whatever you want to, whatever sport, but street drugs enhancing player performance. We're going to do a 1 minute opening argument each. We're going to start with Nelly because he's never won a debate before, and Stoned is going to go second.
Perfect. Thank you for the intro. I picked PCP. Now you're thinking, whoa, that's a lot. There's a reason I picked it. If you look at PCP into Google, the following words are like fights 5 people, takes down 8 cops, like it goes insane. It's like Hulk mode. If you give that to Derrick Henry or TJ Watt, they would probably be the most ferocious players on earth. It doesn't give you superhuman strength like people think. It just you don't feel pain. I didn't know that. So I picked PCP. A meth is for old ladies and weirdos that hang out at gas stations. Thank you.
All right, good opening. Stoned, it's on you.
All right, we all know the real answer is Adderall. Just look at the Seattle Seahawks when they were in the Super Bowl. But for the sake of the argument, which hard drug would be the best performance enhancer for an athlete? I'm going with methamphetamine. All right, methamphetamine. And again, for the sake of the argument, this is the best hard drug to use in a one-time setting, like, I don't know, a Super Bowl. Here's looking at you, Logan Wilson. I have an article from ESPN from September 6, 2021 that I want to get to in a little bit, but when you Google meth in sports, quote, objective L-methamphetamine, the non-abused isomer of methamphetamine, is banned in athletic competition because it may improve athletic performance. It's right there. First thing you Google. All right, Nelly, let's fucking get into it.
Well, I don't endorse meth for athletes because that's what the Nazis. Because I'm not a Nazi, so I'm not pro-Nazi there, Stone. If you look at, I didn't look up like or whatever the fuck it's called.
That's the first pitch of the fucking day.
I didn't list the chemistry and what the hell it's made in it. All I did is I typed it into YouTube PCP, and there was like 30 videos of dudes just beating up cops. It was awesome.
But it doesn't last. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's an adrenaline shot though. You give that to Derrick Henry, you're not bringing him down.
I mean, that's a fair point, but you're going to be in the exact same situation with methamphetamine. You give Derrick Henry meth, you're not taking him down. You can't really take Derrick Henry down normally anyway.
No, meth is for junkies and trailer trash and fucking no.
PCP is for junkies and trailer trash.
PCP is for cool people and cool guys. Listen, you don't feel
PCP
pain.
isn't for cool people. PCP is not for cool people.
Thank you.
I'm not advocating it for real. Listen, it's a hypothetical for athletes. I'm saying to you, if you're enhancing the athletic ability, you can't feel pain on PCP. You understand how powerful that is? No. I can't fact check that. I'm going to take that as a no. I guess, maybe. I don't know. The problem with meth is it's going to burn you out in terms of long-term. Those people, look at the before and afters. They don't age well.
I'm not talking about long-term use. If you take long-term use of PCP, you're going to have a shitload of issues too. I'm talking about one game, what is going to enhance this athlete's performance the most, and we're gonna go with methamphetamine.
But if you take meth, you're going to be jittery. You're not going to be able to concentrate. Take it before the big game, no chance. You're taking the one that takes gold.
You tell me like PCP. Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis, just give them some fucking meth before the biggest game of their lives. They are going to go out and ball out. Murder Ray will come out.
He goes into the hole against Urlacher on meth. Good luck. He feels no pain. Dude, it makes normal people be able to fight off 4 or 5 people. You become a god amongst men.
God amongst men.
Nothing can do anything against you. The world is your oyster on PCP. You can't be beat, man. There's no shot.
Meth is, I got this quote here. They are controlled substances commonly called uppers that induce false feelings of power, strength, self-assertion, and enhanced motivation. With athletes that are already some of the most confident people on the planet, if you're going to give them some shit that's going to boost that up, they're already going to ball out. You give them some meth, they're already thinking they can take down the world, and then you're just going to up that by, whatever percentile. They're going to be ready to go. That's the guy I want on my defense.
You'll get a short burst. I'm not denying how strong that is going to be for a player. What I'm saying is I watched a 20-minute video of a dude running through traffic, punching a cop car. 20 minutes.
PCP is too unpredictable, Nelly. They're going to run straight out of the stadium and go fight cops or go into the stadium. You're going to have a bunch of Ron Artests out there, malice at the palace. It's just going to be a mess. You can't have that. It's going to be just enough of a boost to get them over the hump, and they're going to be goddamn animals out there. It's going to be the little bit of a boost that they need to get to the next level. And anything other than that is just going to push them too far.
I think it's going to be too jittery. I feel like they're off their natural sense of motion and balance. I think it's too much. I think you're adding too much into the system. PCP does, right? Okay, so first of all, you feel no pain. That's the number one.
I think
that
you're
quite a bit.
Underestimating how ridiculously hard PCP is.
I think you're underestimating how much PCP is going to make someone be untackable. If Derrick Henry can't feel pain, he's not going down. I saw a dude get tasered by 3 cops. He didn't go down, and that guy was 140 pounds soaking wet. You give it to fucking Jerome Bettis. Peyton Hillis would be the best running back all time on PCP, dude. You're not bringing him down. Ain't gonna happen.
The main physical effects of the amphetamines include wakefulness, alertness, a decreased sense of fatigue, mood elevation, increased self-confidence, a decreased appetite. They don't even need to eat, nothing. They don't need Gatorade. They're just going to go out there and maul people. Moreover, they're notable for distorting the user's perception of reality and impairing judgment. So they're just going to give them one task, and that's their task. They can do just that. They're only going to focus on tackling the football.
Your first thought of someone on meth is like, damn, that person's strung out. Their life in a bad spot. PCP is run the other fucking way.
Not at their peak.
That's the difference.
It's the same. If you meet a meth head at the peak of their high, you're in the exact same boat.
I've been to a McDonald's in downtown late at night. I've met quite my fair share of meth heads. I can deal with those.
I watched 2 crackheads fight in a McDonald's parking lot in Manchester, New Hampshire over an envelope full of drugs, I assume.
Interesting. Listen. Meth is going to, there's a reason, okay, I'm not getting too historical on you, right? The Blitzkrieg and the Nazis, it worked for a little bit. They burnt the hell out. It is not a long-term solution. PCP, however, you're going to fight until the last breath forever against everyone. It's the man against the world. You got a whole team on PCP, they're going to destroy a team on meth. And it's not close.
I'm pretty sure it would be pretty close.
I just don't think so.
And you guys wouldn't you wouldn't be able to focus on the task as well, I don't think.
There's no focusing. You can't bring anyone down. It's pitch the ball to the big running back and go or block.
But they're just going to start fighting people.
Yeah, you're not beating them though. They're whooping your ass in every sport. In mixed martial arts, it's not even close. PCP, you're going to destroy the other guy. In football, absolutely. Basketball, I'll probably give you math. Baseball, who gives a shit? Hockey is definitely PCP. So, I mean, talking about the big ones there. Maybe meth for soccer. That's 3-2 by my math. My math is good.
Those are all the sports in the world, Nelly?
That's all the stats. That's all the math.
The 5 major sports on the planet.
I've got stats here. Hold on. I gotta accept a bunch of shit here. I got a study. They tested the effects of inhaled methamphetamine. It was people that were riding bikes. 20-minute rides, then they took a 30-minute rest, tested their their vitals and shit. I don't care about the vitals. I mean, that's not what we're talking about right now. If you're taking these drugs, your vitals are shit. They did a 20-minute bike ride. Before the meth, the guy went 5.26 miles. After he took the meth and after the first ride, so he's already tired, he went 5.3 miles. So again, I'm not saying it's going to massively affect it, but it's going to be just enough of a performance enhancer to get you over the hump.
So I agree with you.
That's what we're arguing
here. Doing. It's making sure that there's no drop off in performance because it's keeping your energy levels high. Fair enough. You have sustained energy. What I'm telling you is, you give a person PCP, they turn into the Incredible Hulk, and they cannot be taken down. They cannot be stopped, and no one will do anything about it. You give 11 people PCP, it's going to be destructive. Now,
but they're not going to be able to do the task, Nelly.
What do you mean? What task?
Whatever sport you have to do.
Yeah, you drop the playbook, fucking to 3 plays that you can
drop the playbook,
plexiglass, fucking piece of paper, and you're fucking good. Run up the middle, run outside. That's it. You're just running the ball every play. In football, basketball, you win with that. But PCP is the move for every other sport. Anything that's athletic, any sort of combat or physicality, PCP is the way.
I mean, there's protein powder out there that literally has like methamphetamine in it on the market.
Yeah, because you're allowed to take that. I used to get Adderall all the time. That's it's basically meth. You can't get.
Adderall's the real
for
correct
fun
answer.
PCP.
That's the pussy.
Like recreational PCP, bro. You're going over the edge if you're getting PCP. When people heard you say meth, they're like, okay, I could see that. When I said PCP, that opened the doors on this debate because you're going all in. You're going crazy.
You didn't go through the door. You broke the window.
We're going all the fuck out for PCP. I'll tell you that right now. Go look at the videos. Go on YouTube. I didn't do any research. I didn't look at any science. I typed in PCP fights on YouTube, and I watched it for like an hour. It was awesome. That's how PCP
as a performance enhancer in sports is like it's not even top 3.
What's your top 3 then?
It's crystal meth. It's cocaine. No, it's crystal meth, acid, and then cocaine.
You talk about not being able to do anything, dude. On acid, they can be playing with the fucking grass. And
Doc Ellis pitched a no-hitter on acid.
I mean, that's impressive, sure, but baseball's not a real sport, so who cares? Doesn't count.
Excuse me?
What do you think? Tom Brady could throw a perfect game on acid? Get the fuck out of here.
Doc Ellis did.
Yeah,
he took a tab of acid at 2 p.m. and pitched a no-hitter at 7 p.m. in San Diego.
That's a joke sport. That doesn't count. Get the hell out of here. Listen.
I mean, I've got proof backing up 2 of mine.
Listen, first of all, coke.
You just got cop videos. You got assaults that have nothing to do with sports unless you're Myles Garrett.
What about Myles Garrett?
Assaulting people. That's the evidence that you've brought thus far. You had a video about people on PCP beating the shit out of cops, and you're like, yeah, that'll translate. The only person that translates
they're able to channel that aggression
and
powerfulness and inability to feel pain into the gridiron, into the boxing octagon, into the ring, into everything, but baseball and probably soccer. Every other sport, though, PCP leads the way. I'm going to end my discussion.
Amphetamines give you a reduced sense of pain, which could allow you a player to play through the pain. It's the same type of shit.
Not a reduced sense of pain, no
5
pain.
minutes if you need it.
For mine. So I'm good there. I'm good if you are.
I mean, the pain, I'm not good, because you're still on this train that fucking PCP is like this superior, like,
listen,
you won't feel pain either way, man.
When they get a call to the 911, it's like, this guy's on meth. Like, oh, we got to go deal with this. When it's PCP, 9 counties away, they start fucking throwing their gear on and getting ready to go. Because
it's like a 5-alarm fire.
Take out that motherfucker, okay? You give that
5-alarm drug
Derrick
call.
Henry or TJ Watt? Stop it. Stop it. We've seen, you just said it yourself, NFL players use Adderall all the time. Now, is it 1-to-1 on meth? No. Fairly close, right? Ain't that big of a deal. Ain't shit. I'm going to say that. PCP, you're going insane-o mode. It's going to be disgusting.
You're not. I mean, you're just not. The meth is going to be doing the exact same shit, and you're going to be more controlled and more focused on the task at hand. Whereas PCP, like you said, you're just going to be going insane the whole time. You're not going to be able to it's not going to enhance your performance. It's just going to enhance your, aggression.
Listen, you're not
Amphetamine is as close to adrenaline.
Beat up on football players and other pro athletes. Methane.
Amphetamines are the closest you can get to pure adrenaline, just like getting a fucking shot of it. That's in drugs, of course, the category we're talking. But that's what else do you need for sports?
Can a person on meth fight a car?
It's adrenaline.
Answer that question. Can a person on meth fight a car? Can a person on meth fight a car and win?
Fight a car and win?
No, he fought a car and won. An SUV, like a police Tahoe. And he won.
Well, now we're defining what is winning against a car.
He stopped him in traffic and fucking beat it up, dude. And then the cop got out, beat it. It was awesome.
We might be getting a little off scope here.
I'm just saying, a regular.
I'm saying Nelly's backtracking, man. That's points for me.
I'm not backtracking. I'm forward stepping. If a normal dude can take PCP and fight cars and cops and beat them all up, then if you give it to a superhuman pro athlete, it's not even close, bro. We've seen pro players on meth and Adderall and shit. It's fine. Yeah, it's going to boost your performance. They're going to be the same person. PCP turns you into Wolverine, into the Incredible Hulk. It's like compound.
But we've never seen.
Dude. They're going to kill.
We've never seen PCP's effect on somebody in sports, and if we have, I want to see it. So you don't really know. Andre Agassi took crystal meth. Andre Agassi's a pretty good tennis player.
Yeah, well, he's bald. So that's what made him bald. That's what I heard. He had hair.
Jason Statham's bald.
We've never seen. All we've seen athletes. Okay, steroids, this and PEDs and blah blah. We've seen a few with Adderall. Okay, we've never seen someone get caught with PCP because it's untapped potential. It's scary. No one wants to try it. But if they did, hypothetically, they would be destroyers amongst boys. Be awesome.
Untapped potential is like nobody's just fully unleashed the potential of crystal meth in the league either, because in any sport, because it's fucking banned. Weightlifters and people like that were, fighters and shit were using it because it cuts down on your appetite. They're using it to lose weight. So like it's been used in sports, but not to its full potential. You want to talk about untapped potential? Crystal meth is right there too, my friend.
All meth is gonna do, you're not gonna eat and you're gonna be able to read better. Who cares? Nerd shit. I'm telling you, I can run through a bottle of PCP. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, they can read the playbook better. Ooh, they can concentrate more. Fuck that. Run through a wall. That's cool. Fight a Tahoe and win. That's cool. PCP is the number one enhancer for sports. It's like steroids on steroids. That's my final closing argument.
All right, I'll give my closing argument here too.
Give me your close, Stoned.
Methamphetamine. It's what can I say? I've already said everything I need to. It's just a little bit of a boost that you need to get over the hump. It's going to be the best performance enhancer for an athlete to take. It's going to give you the best results. PCP, it's just too much, man. It's like Nelly said, meth is like a little bit better than Adderall, a little bit more advanced than Adderall. It's already proven to work in the league taking Adderall. Methamphetamine's just a little bit harder. There we go.
All right, people, vote for who you thought won that argument. I don't like how much we down-talked methamphetamines here, and we were just like, no, meth isn't a hard drug.
Right.
I'm just comparatively.
No, let's talk like PCP's like some god drug.
While they vote against
this,
Coke's the most overrated one, though. We can agree on that. That was my initial answer, but that's bad. That's why the 1980s sport was
3-1 Nelly. Could Nelly get his first dub tonight?
No.
3-1 Nelly with the PCP. Oh, Nelly took it. We're at 5-1. Nelly with the dub. And the streak ends.
Congratulations, my friend. So the trilogy's going to sell out.
Good debate, guys. Like I said, that was a monster out of our brain that we thought we had to debate first. We had to get it out there. But it's over now. Good job, guys. Get the next people in here. Much appreciated. Alrighty, so second debate, we are going to have Zach Cantrell versus the armchair host, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Alrighty, Zach, what's up? Welcome in.
What's up?
And you guys are debating what is the bigger moment, Sid the Kid's golden goal or the 1980 gold medal game? I'm going to level with you guys. This isn't a topic I know much about, so I'm going to be in the back seat here a little bit. Who we got first? Zach, you are the visiting opponent since Armchair has been here before, so 1 minute opening argument for you, my friend.
The 1980 United States Olympic hockey team is the greatest story in the history of team sports because it's the ultimate underdog story. These are guys brought in that had no chance to win any sort of medal. This is a group of a gang that came together, 28 strong. Nobody had ever heard of them. They're college kids. These are not professionals. And they banded together, came to the Olympics. Nobody expected any sort of medal out of them. They had to tie the Swedes in game one just to make it to the medal round. They got better as the tournament went along. They had 3 come from behind wins. And then when they got to the Miracle on Ice, they're playing arguably the greatest hockey team of all time. The Soviets had won 4 straight gold medals, and none of their Olympic game matchups before that had been decided by less than 3 goals. And somehow this group of college kids knocked off the mighty Soviet Union. Jim McKay, the great sportscaster, once called it comparison to a Canadian football team beating the Pittsburgh Steel Curtain that won 4 Super Bowls in 6 years.
That's your minute. Good work. Good open. Armchair, we're going to you for your minute. Let's hear it.
It's 2010, and America still hasn't figured out that hockey's an excellent sport yet. It's not your fault. You've been waiting since 1980 when you had this amazing team of college kids. You even made a movie about it. Disney got on board. Disney, the Nazi company Disney, on board, saying, oh, the Miracle's the best. But you know what? 26.5 million Canadians watched the Golden Goal. It was the most pressure-filled because you know what? Hockey's like the 5th or 6th most watched sport behind badminton in the U.S. This matters more to Canadians. Lake Placid's impressive because it's college kids against a bunch of commies. I get it. But it's not the greatest underdog story ever because you did absolutely nothing with it. You parlayed that into a couple of good teams and some solid NHLers who happen to be playing because that's where your teams are. The golden goal meant everything to Canada. You can still ask people where they were when they saw it, and they know. Can you name me the roster from the 1980 Miracle on Ice? Probably because you watched the Disney movie. I'll wait for my opponent here. I'm about to get kicked off the app. I appreciate your time.
All righty, here we go. So it's time for your 15 minutes open floor. Light them up. I think we got a good one here.
I think we do. And first of all, yes, Canada had more Olympic or more professional athletes. That just helps my argument because the 1980 United States team, people have barely heard of them. Ken Morrow played in the NHL. Outside of that, Mike Eruzione never played another hockey game. Jim Craig barely played in the NHL. These are guys that nobody had ever heard of before. And that is more impressive than a bunch of professional grown men. A lot of them had won Stanley Cups before. Sidney Crosby's greatest hockey achievement is not even this goal. His greatest hockey achievement is winning 3 Stanley Cups, being one of the leading scorers in the history of the National Hockey League. And I know 26.5 million people in Canada watched it. That's great. Are there any movies about this goal in Canada? No. Does this even get talked about anywhere outside of Canada? No. This is the biggest story in American sports history. And this, by the way, is an America that, yes, football, basketball, and baseball are all bigger. But what does everybody claim to be the greatest sports moment of all time? It is the Miracle on Ice. And by the way, it gave the greatest broadcasting call in the history of sports. Al Michaels, do you believe in miracles? That is a question that if you ask anybody, they will know exactly what you're talking about. There is no memorable call of Sidney Crosby's goal. Nobody remembers it.
What are you talking? Oh my
because
God.
Nobody
so first
cares.
Do you know why? Do you know why you don't care? Do you know why you don't care? No, truthfully, do you know why you don't care? Because you're not as star-spangled fucking awesome as you think you are. Here's the deal. And this is like truthfully coming from someone who has watched American play. I've watched all of the American teams. Do you know why? Because I fucking love hockey. So let's walk back. There's no memorable call. There is absolutely a memorable call because we were parading in the streets immediately after. Do you know what happened after the 1980 game-winning goal in Lake Placid? Do you know what happened? Nothing, because they didn't have. They had to put it on the news. They had to put it on the news. How many people watch?
If you remember this, the United States at that time was undergoing problems as far as their inflation. The economy sucked. We just pulled out of the 1980 Summer Olympics. We needed a feel-good moment. And the opening video, when the hostages came back from overseas in 1981, what was the first thing that they got shown? It was the Miracle on Ice. It was that important to the psyche of America. It is a moment that goes beyond sports, and the legacy of this game will live on far longer than the legacy of any Canada goal of Sidney Crosby's moment. It's all well and good. It does not register as one of the great sports moments of the 21st century. The Miracle on Ice is the greatest moment of the 20th century. And yes, I am as star-spangled awesome as I think I am because, this is America. And at the end of the day, American sports are more important than Canada sports. Let's be honest. And when you're talking about hockey, that just shows the relevance of this event. It's the 4th or 5th most memorable sport in this country, and yet we still call it the most memorable sports moment of the 20th century. And it's more impressive for an underdog story. What does America love more than anything else? The underdog story. Guess what America never gets to be? The underdog. Everybody looks at us as the worldwide bully. We're going to beat everybody up. This is a time that we got to play the underdog role. And you mentioned the 2010 Olympics and how the United States hasn't done anything in hockey since. Well, that 2010 United States hockey team was a good team, and they had every reason to win a gold medal. And by the way, they split.
No, they didn't.
They split 1-1 with Canada. There should have been a third game. There was no indication
That's not how the Olympic
that Canada team was better than that American team. And I mentioned earlier, the Soviet Union, 4 straight Olympic gold medals. That is as much of a dynasty as you've ever had in the history of sports. And a group of college kids beat them. Imagine Alabama beating the Cleveland Browns of 2017, or maybe not the Cleveland Browns of 2017. Imagine Alabama football beating the New England Patriots back in that day. Nobody would have ever thought that was possible because the Patriots are the greatest dynasty, arguably, in NFL history. That's the level the Soviet Union was at in 1980, and a group of college kids beat them.
I feel like your argument is rooted in a couple of like really misguided things, and it's not your fault. Listen, the education system has failed you. You believe that American sport is hockey. You believe that hockey doesn't matter. Your sports are better than my sports. And if that's your argument, I don't really have a place here. I'm going to be honest with you. I came on here to actually debate the size of the moment. Here's what happens. It's been 40 fucking years, and you still don't care about hockey enough to field a competitive team anywhere internationally. Anywhere. Every year, without NHLers this year, where is the U.S. going to finish in hockey? Don't answer me. You've been talking far too long anyway. I'm tired of your voice. Let me tell you something. When you come into an argument with your only argument being fucking bald eagles and American flags, I'm out. You can't argue that with someone because this is what we've been dealing with. You needed a feel-good moment. You boycotted the Summer Olympics. Do you remember that in 1980? We
boycotted the Olympics because the communists were bombing Afghanistan at that time, and that we needed a feel-good moment in that moment.
God damn it. I don't need a history lesson, Zach. I'm not a fucking child. I've been alive for most of this. I don't know if you know
Congratulations.
That. That's okay.
What did he freaking do? Congrats on being born. Do you expect a cookie? Do you think that this is just a history lesson? No. Nobody gives
it is a history lesson.
Canada's gold medal moment. Nobody cares.
Let him talk. Zach.
No, you know what, James? I'm done. It's cool. Zach doesn't want to actually argue. His argument is U.S. is better than Canada, and there's no actual argument here. So, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. If you're not going to be like an actual debate here, if we're not actually going to have discourse and your argument is nobody cares about Canada. I was going to have
an argument, and then you went all about this star-spangled fucking shit. Like, no, I didn't want to do that. That's where it all started, actually. I'm ready to talk about what actually happened. I'm trying to give you what actually happened. I don't care about this propaganda stuff. And the fact of the matter is, we don't need to argue who's better between America and Canada. The reality is, the United States Olympic gold medal moment is the greatest moment in sports history. And I didn't even bring up that they won the game against Finland. The very next game, the ultimate letdown moment in sports history. Nobody remembers that they had to beat Finland 2 days later to win the gold medal. They trailed 2-1 in that game, had to score 3 goals in the third period. They came back in 6 of their Olympic games. They came from 2 goals down 3 separate occasions to win that game. That is the ultimate example of resiliency and clutchness, things that we revere in sports. Whether you're an American, whether you're a Canadian, it doesn't matter. These are traits that illustrate the best of professional and Olympic sports as we see it. This is the greatest team story that has ever been told. There's no question about it. And any argument otherwise just seems to be a little misguided.
It's not, but that's the point. This is the whole point of the conversation. You have no idea how important this moment was to a different country. And that's where this is a fallacy. You're discounting the entire country of Canada, who is significantly important to the game of hockey. You sit here and you tell me that this is the most significant team sport. Canada doesn't matter. Canada's sports don't matter while playing a Canadian sport. And that's why I'm frustrated here, because you sit here and you talk about how this was it's an incredible achievement. They were college kids going against a curated professional team of Soviet superhumans who have been in the Olympics for ages. They had no business winning. They had no business winning, and they won. And then nothing came of it. You guys needed a feel-good moment, and then you forgot about it. And then other things happened. And then you moved on to other sports. It didn't translate like it did in Canada. The golden goal in Canada, when Sidney Crosby was 22, by the way, yes, a super crowning achievement. And oh, by the way, there's interviews with him talking about how it's the most significant moment in his career. So yes, it was significant. Do a little, come on. We can't just say that it didn't matter. It's not significant to him because he won 3 cups. It meant more to that Canadian kid to score that goal in Canada during those Olympics hosted in Canada because it was all of the pressure from the entire country. Do you know what we care about in the Olympics? One thing, hockey. That's
Couldn't I make the argument?
We don't care.
Couldn't I make the argument that in actuality, the greatest Canadian goal ever scored was by Paul Henderson in the Summit Series against the Soviet Union? Because that was more significant. That was the Canadian professionals going against the Soviet dominant dynasty, and they came from down 5 games to 3. They had to win 3 straight, where Paul Henderson scored 3 game-winning goals in 3 consecutive games. I could make the argument that put Canada hockey maybe not so much on the map, but it established the Canadian dominance. So I think the golden goal was great, but it's not even the most important goal in the history of the country of Canada.
And I'm telling you that it unequivocally has surpassed it, because the Summit Series at this point has moved beyond. There is no Soviet Union. We're not in the throes of the Cold War like we were when the miracle happened. There's nothing, this doesn't mean that there's no significance to the miracle. What I'm saying is every year around Olympic time, we go back and we look at and we talk about how incredible of a coach Herb Brooks was. We talk about how ridiculously appreciated all of these athletes were. They won the game. We celebrate it. People watch the movie, and then they move on with their lives. The golden goal, whenever hockey is talked about, is still considered one of the finest achievements in Canadian Olympic ice hockey history.
We have, and you say that we moved on and we don't remember it. We're still doing documentaries and movies about it 40 years later. They just did a 40th anniversary reunion in Lake Placid. They got 19 of the 20 members that are still alive. All of them were there. This is not something that just happened and went away. This didn't go away like Jimmy Carter's presidency in 1980. This is still a culturally significant moment, and it still has resonance in this country. Every time we bring up the Olympics, what's the first Olympic memory everybody has? The miracle on ice. It's by far the biggest moment in Olympic history, not just hockey history, but in Olympic sports history. It is not even comparable. Herb Brooks did the greatest coaching job in the history of all sports. Nobody should be disputing this. The fact that they had to overcome what they had to overcome. This is a team that was put together in 1979. They had to be the best hockey team in the world in a 6-month span. This is not the Soviet Union who all got to train together. This is not Canada who's been able to play in other events in between each Olympic Games. These guys were brought together in 6 quick months, and all the scenes that you remember from the movie, for the most part, actually happened. They were not very competitive. They were not good. They tied a bad Norway team early on in the season. There is no team in the history of sports that has gotten better as their season went along. And when they got to the Olympic Games, they had to tie Sweden in the first game. If Bill Baker doesn't score a goal with 27 seconds left, the Olympics is over before it ever gets started. And then they have all these tremendous comebacks. The Soviet Union game, everybody forgets that was not the gold medal game. They had to come from behind 3 different times to win that game. They were down 1-0, 2-1, 3-2. Jim Craig had an incredible game. I'm sorry, Canada was the favorite. There is something to sports about being the underdog. That's why we all enjoy March Madness. We all love watching underdogs. We want to see the little guy win. The United States is not the little guy, but as far as the Olympics were concerned that year, they were the little guy. Canada was supposed to win the gold medal that year. It was in Vancouver. They were the favorites, and the United States beat them the first time. Canada beat them the second time. That is inconclusive evidence as to who was actually the better hockey team. So that moment to me is a little bit overrated. The 1980 Miracle on Ice is an unimpeachable moment in sports history that you cannot possibly pick apart.
All right, guys, it's time to close this up. 1 minute closing argument. Zach, you go first.
Culturally, sports-wise, legacy, this shit on the golden goal. It is not even close. When you think about, as I mentioned, the greatest moments in sports history from an underdog perspective, this is it. When you talk about maybe it hurt America over the next 40 years or so when it comes to hockey because you cannot possibly overcome this moment. Maybe it's a little bit too big for current hockey. But the reality is Mike Eruzione and Jim Craig and those guys, they're household names. They never would have been otherwise. And they did it in Lake Placid. And to recognize the state of the country at the time and for them to win it the fashion they did, the legacy that goes with it, the movies that go with it, this should be the easiest debate of all time. The Miracle on Ice is the greatest moment in sports history.
Armchair's minute. All righty. Armchair, you're closing.
It's not rocket science to debate that the Miracle on Ice is an incredible and impressive feat. I'm not here to say that. But today's NHL is being shaped by people who watched the Golden Goal. And to discount a country like Canada's impact on the sport of hockey is simply impossible. I don't know how you could do it. Connor McDavid, drafted in the 2015 entry draft, watched that Golden Goal. He was probably sitting at home thinking to himself, that's going to be me one day. And then, of course, no COVID Olympic time for him. The last American win of gold medal hockey was in 1980. And the reason for that doesn't mean that they're okay. So they're great now. Like, are we just, this is good. Yes, America has done great in 1980. And then they've produced no hockey in the professional era when hockey players are pros. I understand the Soviets won in 88 in Canada, and that killed us. I don't think you understand the cultural hurt and impact it has to lose your national sport. That would be like America losing to Mexico playing baseball. A little tongue in cheek.
All right, guys. So it looks like my final count, tally it up. Stone did it for me already. We got 5-2 Armchair with the dub. Next up, we have what is the best game day food? We got Ace and I think it's Matt from Hungry Takes. Yes, it is. I can't remember anything, so everything I say comes from my notes. Ace, what's up, man? All right. Like I said, best game day food. A little happier topic for the kids at home.
When I was asked to go last, I just thought that, game day foods. I had no idea what was going to go before.
You don't do real sports debates. Didn't you come on for what was last week's the game day movies? Now you're doing food.
Okay, hold on. I didn't lose. I lost to myself. That's what happened. I lost to myself. I had too much to think about.
Maddie, what's up? Welcome in. Thanks for coming.
How's it going?
It's going good. It's been a highly contentious episode thus far. Like I said, we got game day foods here. Ace has been here before. So, Matt, you're going to go.
Oh, shut up, Melody. I did not.
Yeah, all right, so foods. Cool. Ace has been here before. Matt, you go first. Ace can only pick one thing. All right, let's go. 1 minute, Maddie.
Actually, I'm going to flip that on you. I'm going to let Ace go first.
Oh, you're going to flip Christ, he hit you with the reverse Uno card. All right, let's go.
Wait. Before you hit the reverse Uno card, just so we're clear, is this regarding players or fans?
Fans. Watching the Super Bowl, chilling with the buddies.
Okay, then flip the switch. All right, originally I had something for players, but since we're going to fans, I'm going to go with, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the All-American cheeseburgers. Now, cheeseburgers is such a comfort fan food because you got to think about everything it brings with it. Now, with cheeseburger, you pop open a couple of beers, toss open a grill, and then you chill with your buds looking at the Super Bowl. It's just the perfect comfort day food. And, it's tasty. I think that's the biggest thing, right? It's tasty. And I can almost promise you, no naughty thing will come out of this cast. If it does, then I don't know.
All right, Maddie, let's get to your minute opening argument.
So let me start here and say that this is the premier debate show, and yet other people have been on before me. Oh my gosh, no way, that's not possible. But let's start here. So here's what I would say, Ace. Grow up, Peter Pan, all right? Because here's the deal. When you go to a tailgate as a fan, everyone knows there's going to be alcohol, right? So you want me to waste my $30 buzz on a $2 cheeseburger, an 80-20 all-fat cheeseburger? No way. Here's the answer. It's hot dogs. Why is it hot dogs? because they're cheap. If someone's drinking, they're not wasting their buzz on it, right? They can be regional. So if you want a Chicago dog, a Western dog, if you want a New York dog, they're customizable. If you're getting drunk with the kiddos there, you can fix the hot dog for the kiddos, and that keeps them quiet. And so for all of those reasons, I'm saying the ultimate food is a hot dog because it's customizable, it's cheap, I can enjoy my buzz and eat, or I can choose not to. I can eat later because they stay warm and I can get them whenever I want.
Okay, hold on a second, Wendy. Hold on
It's light 'em up time. Go at each other.
Wendy, where does Peter Pan come from in the first place? That's a different one. First time got called that. But hold on. First of all, if you're talking about a $2 cheeseburger, where are you going to get it? McDonald's? No. When you're talking about a game day cheeseburger, you're talking about the freaking Angus Prime steak beef. That's something you bring out from freaking you stacked up since freaking months ago. You're bringing it out. It's a Memorial Day. You want to cherish it with your buds, and the beers is just to have it. Wow, can't talk, guys. Sorry about that. The beers just help it more. It's for digestion.
So let me ask you this question, Ace. How many people come to your Super Bowl party, tailgate, so on and so forth?
Well, people come to my World Cup party because, sorry guys, football is the best sport. People come to that party and they want the burgers, and there's at least 100 people there.
Okay, so you're gonna buy aged Angus beef for 100 people. Okay, sign me up for that. I also have some beachfront property in Kansas I can rent to you, man. Like, there's absolutely no way that you're gonna host a party with 100 people and buy Angus beef, like these elaborate cheeseburgers, plus all the accoutrements that go with it. Here's what I say. You spring for $10 worth of hot dogs, some chili, the different regional toppings that go with them. Invest all your money in what matters, which is booze, which brings this point full circle, and that is you're going to go buy hundreds of dollars worth of Angus beef, and everyone's going to get drunk while they watch the Super Bowl. It's not working, man.
So let me get this straight. Your solution is you can't get drunk and have a good tasty burger, but you can get drunk and have a cheap freaking hot dog. Is that
what I'm saying? What I'm saying is I want to invest my buzz accordingly, right? And if I got a $30 hamburger sitting in front of me, I'm probably not going to drink. And when it comes down to it, my priority to Super Bowl is having fun drinking, not a $30 hamburger.
I mean, if we're talking about, it seems like you're going more towards the alcohol, because if we have an alcohol talk, then that's a debate we can have. But in terms of food, I don't think hot dogs is it. I mean, the moment I think of hot dogs, I'm at the baseball game in the back row and telling the old dude with the baseball cap to throw me a freaking cheap hot dog that tastes like cardboard paper. No, I don't want that at a game. You just scarf them down. That's what you have at a freaking hot dog eating contest. No, it's the freaking Super Bowl. You want to sit down, you want to enjoy yourself. And I'm thinking, what's more comforting and enjoyable than a nice tasty burger?
So here's the deal. I'm looking at the chat, and Kevin Zelix is saying, I feel like Maddie is making more of an argument for alcohol than hot dogs. Not the case. What I'm saying is you got to have the proper food to go with the alcohol. Like, let's not pull any punches. The alcohol is the central figure in a Super Bowl, right? Like,
it is important.
I will say that. Super Bowl party and not bringing alcohol. Okay, so if you know alcohol is the central component, what are you going to have to go with it? All right, and you can walk it down the list, right? And what I'm saying is, hot dogs are perfect because you can make them how you want. They're customizable. No matter what region you're in, there's a special dog for it. If you have kids involved in the Super Bowl party, as there always are kids involved, you have something that they will willingly eat because everybody loves hot dogs. And all the while, you did not blow your alcohol budget. Instead, you invested it in some decent quality hot dogs and still had $100 to bring alcohol to the party.
Okay. I didn't want to have to pull this out, but I'm going to do this for the foodies. So everyone just sit back in your seat and hear this out. Now, there's a hot dog, right? There's a meat between a bun, which, you could question, is this another type of sandwich? But let's put this in perspective. Let's say you have a nice, juicy, medium rare burger between two buns, sesame seeded bun. Throw in some lettuce, you got some cheese in there, probably some mayo, and even some tomato. And
Bro, you're gonna bring hamburgers to a party and you're not even getting sweet Hawaiian burgers. You're gonna make me eat some stale sesame seed buns? Are you crazy?
Dude, you can get any burgers you want. There's different ones. That's what quality of burgers you have. You can have different ones. Not too much you can do with hot dogs besides the toppings. That's about it. But imagine having a nice juicy burger in your mouth, and then look, someone scored a touchdown. Now, how are you feeling after the touchdown? After chewing that nice sweet cheeseburger over that stale hot dog that you had. Now, if we're talking about hot dog, you probably scarfed it down and didn't miss the moment. But if you're having a burger, you had two enjoyments. Not one, two. Your mouth and your heart.
So look, let's start from the beginning. Based upon your accent, I'm gonna assume that you spell football Futbol. All right, and if that's the case, then you are not the expert on Super Bowl parties, right? So like that's the first thing I would call into question is: have you ever been to a Super Bowl party? Do you know what a first down is?
3 times, right? 3.
Once we check those off the box, then we can talk about the perfect American food to celebrate the American classic, which is the Super Bowl.
Okay. Rule number 1. I was waiting when someone was going to pull that on me. First of all, guys, I'm not British. Okay? Second of all, I've been here. Like I can tell all the people who've ever questioned me, I've been here for a while, so I definitely know Super Bowl parties, and I quite enjoyed them over the game. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. First of all, let's break this down. What is it with Americans that call other countries out?
The way you verify your credibility.
You don't know the Super Bowl because you're not American? No, I would say the same thing to you. You guys don't know the true party because you guys never been to a World Cup party, which is much larger scale.
So your credibility is the fact that you're not British. Like that's the credibility I'm leaning on. Not like
the question is, what
you
is
have all
your
this
credibility?
Super Bowl experience and that you love hot dogs or hate hot dogs and love burgers. Your credibility is you're not from the UK.
Wendy, what is your credibility?
So my credibility is that I'm currently 40 pounds overweight and I've been munching on hot dogs, hamburgers, and Little Debbie since I was about 2 years old. All right, I've been to more Super Bowl parties than you can count to.
See, that's the problem, man. That's the problem. After the 200, you lost the taste, and then you just been scoffing down hot dogs. See, I could have helped you out. Hot dogs weren't the answer.
With my partner, Joe, we also run a podcast called Hungry Takes, which is basically me telling you that not only am I an expert and Joe is an expert in sports, but we're also an expert in food. What is the Super Bowl? It's sports and food combined. Sounds like I'm more credible already.
I don't know. Eating a lot of things doesn't make you a chef, does it? Just because you eat it doesn't mean you know the food. Well, I could drink down 10 alcohols. What? I'm an alcohol expert now? Yes, this is fine wine. No, I don't know nothing about alcohol. I'll just drink it. Eat food, you just eat it. Doesn't make you a food expert. Hungry Takes, great name. Doesn't make you an expert.
Let's go one layer deep, right? Another layer deeper here. You said a cheeseburger. So tell me what kind of cheese you're going to put on that $30 Angus burger that you're feeding 100 people that are going to get drunk.
I mentioned it before. I'm giving this is a good burger. You're getting Gouda, you're getting pepper jack, you're getting Swiss. You're getting what? We're having different cheeses, man. This is a party. I'm bringing the whole gang.
So real quick, I got to hit this, Ace, right? Because I'm gonna let you over there, Never Land, figure this out, all right? But
I'm loving this Peter Pan guys. Know me. I must be Peter Pan now. I'm trademarking.
How did nobody pick wings or nachos? Because nachos are non-unique. And wings are just terrible, right? Unless you're in Buffalo, like wings are terrible. So, and they're expensive. Again, that's the line we're walking, and that's what I'm challenging Ace to. You got to come to the table with something that is unique and affordable so that you can spend your money wisely on what matters, and that is alcohol with the Super Bowl and not overpriced hamburgers that probably you're going to overcook, right, Ace? Yeah, you will.
Oh, my God. Oh, Matty boy, you done lost half your American friends over that last comment. Wings are terrible. They don't agree with that. I don't either. Wings are amazing. In fact, that would be my next argument over hot dogs. Wings are a great Super Bowl food. You can have a platter and it's terrible. What you talking about? Now
Where-
let's go back here since you want to do one layer, okay? The point is, you could have a hot dog, but it's not a Super Bowl party game. Hot dog is a measly, just regular station game, a regular season game that you got because you had money to get a hot dog. When you want a party, you're gonna have the burger because you're, like I said, you're enjoying it more, and on top of that, it's more comforting for the environment as well. Now you got on me about the prices. Now, okay, maybe it might be a little bit too expensive for some people, but Super Bowl, correct me not if I'm wrong, since I'm not the real American, that is a party you plan for ahead of time, right? So that being the case, I think I would want to have the best for my party, and so if having the burger was the best for my party, of course I'm gonna have the best there. You can go take your hot dog at the hot dog eating contest. I don't want it. Sculpt it down later. I'm trying to enjoy my food.
That's funny. You're such an expert on America that you slight like one of the most American pastimes, which is the hot dog eating contest in Coney Island. So like that's kind of like some kind of weird jab. You're gonna hate on hot dogs, but cite a hot dog eating contest, which literally on July 4th is the epitome of American culture.
Boy.
And then on top of that, Easy Money Nelly says no one's pulling up to the party and being like, "Oh, these MFers got hot dogs." Oh, I would. Apparently, you've never met me.
Yes, 400 ladies.
Call a time in my life at Bible camp where I ate 12 hot dogs in one setting as an 8-year-old. If someone offers me hot dogs, I'm there, my dude.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. But I'm gonna. Is it bigger than the closing? Is this closing minutes now, James?
We can go into close. We have a minute or two until, but we can go minute closing arguments here. Ace, you lead it.
Okay. Guys, I love you all. Americans, Russians, Koreans, all of you, all perfect people. I love you all. So I just hope one day we can all sit down and enjoy a game of beers together and not have a debate about country. But needless to say, let's keep it about the food. Burgers are just a great meal to have. It's something you shouldn't have often. Sorry, 400 later, but in that case scenario, if I want a party and I have a lot of people there, I want to have the best time ever. So I think the best time I'm having is with a burger and a beer. Now, like I said, beers are complete different conversations later. So if Maddie wants to bring that up in the next debate, hey, I'm your guy. But for now, burgers trumps hot dogs every day, all day for a Super Bowl party.
Awesome. That was a nice trip down memory lane there. So let's flash forward. Okay. So here's what Ace sets the stage for. You're chilling at the Super Bowl party. You've had a few shots, a few drinks. It's around halftime. The dude that's queuing up the burgers, he's a case of beer in. So are you really going to enjoy your burnt to a crisp hamburger in the second half of the game? Your $30 expensive Angus beef hamburger that's been charred to a briquette, right? Here's what I'm saying. Make the kids happy. Make yourself happy. Go with the food that is unique, that can be in any region you want, right? Each person at the party can customize it. And, oh, by the way, when you're done with all of that, you've spent $20. Now you can go drop the other $100 on some high-quality alcohol, not the Natty Light that Ace can afford after his $30 Angus burger, right? So there it is, wrapped up in a bow tie. Do you really want a guy that is not from America telling you what the best food is for the epitome event of America, which is the Super Bowl? What I'm saying is go with what I'm telling you. My first qualification is not that I'm not from the UK. It's that I'm a fat kid and I know food better than anyone in the world. And I'm telling you, this Super Bowl, do yourself a favor, buy some hot dogs, buy the good alcohol. Thank me later.
I feel sorry for you.
All right, that does it. Look into the chat, see who won this bad boy. Vote, people. I got one. Oh, scroll up here. Stoned, where's my count? 3-3. Give it a couple more seconds here. 5-3 Ace, 6-3 Ace. We're gonna call it there. Ace gets the dub.
And thank you.
Good work, guys. That was a really fun one.
Just like a terrible British movie, no matter how crappy it is, it always comes out on top.
No love lost, Matty boy. Thanks for the debate.